Hey, good morning, everybody. Pastor Rob Bailey here from South Lake Church. Just welcome for another daily devotion. Here at South Lake Church, we've been going through Immerse. Immerse is this great way of reading through the Old and New Testament, reading the Bible in a way that we can understand, have conversations together. Now, in fact, those conversations include 4 questions to reading. And what are you going to do about it as you live your life this upcoming week? And this is led by Jessica Leach, 8 a.m. Saturday mornings. So if you watch all these devotions, we'd love for you to join us and share what you thought about those 4 questions. How's it made an impact? And if you're wondering, how do I get the information to be a part of that group? Look right here, rbailey@gdlc.org. If you go right there, you'll send an email. I'll get you the link, all you need to get involved. And if you're looking how to stay up to date with South Lake, that's a great way. LC. Now today we are continuing through the book of Acts. This is the second week of reading through Acts. We see here Paul is now going to share the good news to the Gentiles, people like us, people who don't have necessarily a culture or background to understand the idea that God would have a relationship with his people in just one God. So we see here Paul and Silas are on their second journey, going out and doing missionary work. What we're going to read here today, some weird things happen. So let's take a look. So reading today is from Acts chapter 16. We read that one day they were going down to the place of prayer. Paul, which he does a lot, is go where people worship during the week and meet with them, talk with them, spend time with them, have a relationship. And while he's there with these most likely Jewish but also God-fearing believers, there's a slave girl there. So she followed Paul and the rest of us, shouting, "These men are the servants of the Most High God. They have come to tell you how to be saved." So as Paul is sharing about the good news of Jesus, you have this slave girl yelling and screaming who they really are. And the key thing is she's telling the truth. And Paul got exasperated that he turned around and said to the demon within her, "I command you in the name of Jesus Christ to come out of her." And instantly, it left her. Now, I've always wondered and struggled with this, because think about that, for example, right? So I'm here to tell you, I'm here to share the love of Jesus. I'm here to tell you about it. You're checking us out right now on Facebook or on YouTube because it's on, like, what's this guy talking about? Well, now I got somebody who is screaming and warning people that I'm here to tell about Jesus. Why would Paul remove the demon if she's able to actually tell people who they really are? Well, all I can give you is some ideas of what I believe and think about what's going on here. Now, first off, it's a slave girl, so which means she's owned by somebody. And she's owned by them because she has a spirit that makes them money telling fortunes. So if that's the individual that's being your testimony of who you are, I don't know how well of a good thing that is. In fact, I wonder if by her yelling at people that these people are talking about Jesus, their response was, "I don't want to deal with that," and not listen to them, leave them, get scared off. We don't know. I'm just picturing how I would experience seeing a slave girl following these 2 strangers talking about some kind of God. Something's going on. Well, another thing then is why can't she tell futures? She has a demon. And the fact that Paul waited until like a couple days, I don't know why, but he exorcised a demon out of her. Her master's hopes with all the wealth were now shattered. So they grabbed Paul and Silas and dragged them before the authorities of the marketplace. So her masters are ticked right now. Why? Because their profit center, right, this girl who could tell the future, can't do it anymore, which means they can't make money. Even if it's the truth or lies, whatever it was, they're now not going to be able to use her. So as they brought him to the authorities, the whole city was in uproar because these Jews, so again, when they say Jews, they're talking about Paul and Silas. So again, are they Jews culturally? Yes. Do they believe in the Jewish God? Yes. But they believe the Jewish God through Jesus? Yes. So there is a difference here, but as far as all the common people are considered, they're Jews. They shouted at the city officials, "They are teaching customs that are illegal for us Romans to practice." What's Paul and Silas doing here? Well, honestly, we don't know, but we can use some context clues, both about what we understand of our faith and also Jewish law. So the first thing is, as a Christian, we believe that there is one God, Christ is Lord. Well, here's a problem. In a Roman society, there's only one God, one Lord. His name is Caesar. So if you were to claim anybody as Lord besides Caesar, you were breaking the law. And we'll find out later in the history of the church, this becomes a big issue, and people will die and go to prison for this. So this might be what the officials are talking about, that because they claim a different Lord. Now you might be asking, or you might not realize this, but wait a second, don't the Jewish people only say there's one God? That's correct. But if Paul and Silas are saying that there's a different God besides the God of the Jews is actually God, they're actually breaking the rules. So that's some interesting things there. This could mean to something else. See, here at South Lake and as Christians, we celebrate the Lord's Supper. And we believe that Christ's body and blood is present when you have the Lord's Supper. A lot of you guys might not know this, but the early Christians were seen as cannibals because they taught they ate the body and flesh of a god. Yeah. So they may be referring to the Romans that they see that they are eating somebody's body, is what they're claiming, which is again against the law, which also might make the argument that look how outsiders, when they see a Christians practice the Lord's Supper, it kind of looks like they believe that there's a body and blood that's present there. Again, all we have is the verse right here, which says they were illegal. Though it was illegal for us as Roman citizens. So there's something going on in the teaching. So Paul quickly informed Paul and Silas. The city officials ordered them stripped and beaten with wooden rods. They were severely beaten and they were thrown into prison. Just again, a lot of times here in Christianity, especially in America, we make it sound like if you have enough faith, life will be good. If you have enough things going for you, God's going to give you all your dreams taken care of and life will be well. Well, here's Paul, who I would make an argument is probably one of the biggest purveyors of our faith. One of the most biggest impact the Christian church was Paul. So you'd think God would want him to do well, getting beaten and stripped for his faith. And there's no way you could say, well, I wish Paul had more faith. So what's happening? And the answer is, when we share the good news of Jesus, people will react positively, but also very negatively. And that should not affect our faith in God or question the fact that, you know what, God is still in charge and with us because he's with Paul. I'm going to end here, and actually the reason why is you want to check out South Lake. We actually read this in church a couple weeks back, the next section, where Paul and Silas go into prison, they're singing, and then an earthquake happens. And a miracle happens. They're all freed, but they don't run away. And because of that, the prison guard sees that, and instead of killing himself for failing at his duties, he and his family become baptized into the faith. Well, our reading today was leading up to don't waste your earthquake. So if you're kind of curious, a couple weeks ago about our reading at church, here we are today catching up now to where we were and how God puts it all together. So hey, blessings to everybody this week. Was there anything new that you heard today? Maybe about Roman laws, or the fact that there was demons actually telling people that these are actual Christians who believe. Remove the demons sooner. Why did the demon even tell people? What were those illegal practices that the Christians were doing? How has your perspective of God changed today? What does that mean to have a relationship with him, to share him, or to realize that, yeah, crummy things will happen, even when you share the good news? Or will this make an impact on your life this week? Well, here at South Lake, we would love to hear those thoughts. So if you always write them in the comments, or join us Saturday mornings, 8 a.m., where we have a chance to just gather together. You want to know how we can get involved? Send an email at rbailey@gdlc.org. That's a great way to stay in touch and be together. Because here at South Lake, we engage, grow, and share Jesus in our community relationships. And I'd love for you to be a part of that and join us. Hey, you guys have a wonderful and blessed week. God bless and take care. Because I know it's Monday, but it's almost over, guys. Take care.